Hi there, I'm Machine Pun Kelly, and today I want to talk to you about Project 2025, and specifically, its effect on women. While ahead of the election, there was a lot of talk about a widening gender gap. It didn't materialize. In fact, it wasn't any different than most years. Kamala Harris won the women's vote 54 to 45. That's compared to the 2020 totals, where Biden won women 56% to 43%. Whatever the reasons were for this unexpected shift, it's noteworthy that it's very different from how women feel about Project 2025, where fewer than 5% of women have a positive view of it. Ahead of the election, Donald Trump claimed to have no idea what it was, but in less than 60 days, he has already implemented over half of it. What is Project 2025? Project 2025, a policy initiative by the Heritage Foundation, is a comprehensive plan to reshape the U.S. federal government in favor of conservative policies with significant implications for American women. One of the most direct impacts on American women is the restriction of reproductive rights. The project proposes enforcing the Comstock Act of 1873, which would prohibit the mailing of abortion-producing materials, effectively banning medication abortion, a critical option for many women, especially in states with limited access to surgical procedures. Additionally, Project 2025 aims to clamp down on federal funding for abortion, reducing access to services, and limit contraception availability, as noted in Newsweek's coverage. The redirection of Title I funding from family planning to marriage education further restricts women's access to reproductive health care, potentially increasing unintended pregnancies and related health risks. Project 2025's approach to gender equality threatens to roll back decades of progress. It proposes removing gender equality language from government websites and renaming the USAID Office of Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment to the USAID Office of Women, Children, and Families. Moreover, the project seeks to weaken Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits sex discrimination in employment, and rescind executive orders protecting against workplace discrimination. These changes could reduce women's economic opportunities, particularly in male-dominated fields, and exacerbate the gender pay gap. The project's attack on protections against sex discrimination extends to educational settings, potentially harming women's access to equitable educational opportunities. This is particularly concerning, given the reliance of women on education for career advancement, with potential long-term effects on earning power and economic independence. Economic security for American women is at risk under Project 2025, particularly for low-income families. The initiative threatens to radically change Medicaid and Medicare, programs that 28% of single mothers rely on, according to the National Organization for Women. These changes could severely impact healthcare access for women, especially those in poverty. Additionally, the project aims to reduce access to and investments in anti-poverty programs, prioritizing the interests of the wealthy over the needs of low-income families, which are disproportionately led by women. This could lead to increased financial strain, particularly for single mothers, with potential ripple effects on housing, nutrition, and overall well-being. Family Structures and Marriage Promotion Project 2025 promotes a vision of the family that relies on fixed traditional gender roles, which could limit women's autonomy. It stigmatizes single parenthood and cuts social support for single parents, as detailed in Newsweek's analysis, which notes policies that punish non-married individuals to incentivize marriage. This approach is embedded in the project's broader agenda to enforce a biblically based marriage, potentially not recognizing same-sex marriages or non-traditional family structures, which could disproportionately affect women in diverse family arrangements. The National Women's Law Center highlights this as an effort to penalize unmarried women, further reinforcing patriarchal norms. The project's anti-LGBTQ+ stance could affect women, particularly those who identify as part of the community or support these rights. It envisions a federal government that denies the existence of transgender people and dismantles services for LGBTQ plus Americans. This could impact lesbian or transgender women in the workplace and educational settings. In conclusion, Project 2025's policies will likely set back American women's rights across multiple domains, with significant implications for their health, economic security, and social standing. The controversy surrounding its conservative agenda, particularly on reproductive and LGBTQ plus rights, underscores the need for robust public discourse and advocacy to mitigate potential harms. Thanks for watching. Once again, this is Machine Pun Kelly, aka MPK. If you learned something here, don't forget to click like and subscribe. And if you want to know more about Project 2025, just click on the playlist.